Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Faith in Home Buying, equipping people of faith for the home buying process. And again, it's been a little bit, got a little rusty here, but we've been doing some deals and everything else in the background. But I have my special guest and industry buddy, Audrey Hutton. Audrey, just give a quick hello.
Hey, everybody. It's great to be back. I always love being a guest on your show.
I appreciate it. And gosh, so much it's been about a year, I think. Or maybe even a little bit more than that. No, we did a little bit in between. Yeah, but
Mhm.
still, like a whole
Mhm.
lot has happened even since then. And I'm super excited to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think not even just talking about that, and usually I do start off with a verse, but this time is a little bit different. I want to talk about just how important it is to have teammates. In this industry, you think that okay, I'm alone on this island. I'm not working for anybody, and I don't need anybody. Not necessarily. In
Yes.
some aspects, yeah, that's kind of true, but in a lot of it, it's really not. Just like we weren't, intended to, walk alone in this life, on an island all by herself, right? One could put 5,000, 10, or two could put 10,000 a flight. A three-string, cord is hard to be broken, right? So how important it is for teamwork within the industry, whether that be from colleagues or whether it be from the financial institutions, loan officers that you do work with. And so Audrey, we just recently had a deal get into contract super,
Yeah.
super quick. And I honestly think it is because of teamwork. And, what are your thoughts, just even as a loan officer, on teamwork, and even just from our recent situation on making sure that clients are navigated to the realtor they need to be
Yeah.
navigated to?
Yeah. I love this topic. Thank you for bringing it up because I come at this kind of from an analytical standpoint. So I'm a lender. I
Mm-hmm.
love numbers, so I can't help myself. I mean, this is a business and we're business minded. So this is
Mm-hmm.
what I do all day long is analyze what creates the success. And so I will tell
Yeah.
you the teamwork is so important. So as a lender, we track out of how many leads we get, who are we getting those leads from? Out of those leads that we get, what is that capture rate? So we know for our capture rate as a lender that how many of those clients that are referred to us use us, and we also track the realtor's capture rate as far as how many leads they send to us, how many end up working with
Mm-hmm.
that agent. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really interesting how important the teamwork is because you have some realtors that might not give the best service. They might not do the follow-ups. They might not do all these things. They might not, push to present in person or push to do everything that they can to get that offer
Mm-hmm.
accepted. And so that's where you see the capture rate, that relationship
Mm-hmm.
really break down between the client and the realtor. So as a lender,
Mm-hmm.
we do our best to try to solidify that, right? So that's
Right.
why there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many of me and my team. And so that's why we really do target. Like, I love you to death, but you're a great realtor. So we're friends, but also you are an amazing realtor and your capture rate's higher. So it really comes to that teamwork. And it's time and time again where you look to see what is the success, what is the capture rate. I'm kind of tooting your horn. I mean, but just talking about general real estate because it is really important to work with the right person and your capture rate's really high. So I know that typically when from the time that we pre-approve your clients to the
Mm-hmm.
time that they're going to be in contract, it's pretty quick. And you might write just a few offers, whereas there's
Right.
realtors that we're working with that, 6, 7 months down the line, 10,
Mm-hmm.
11 offers, they still don't have anything accepted. So unfortunately, I know a lot of people might think that it's cliche, but relationship is everything, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this competitive market, people want to know, the sellers want to know, I want the most for my money and I know that I
Right.
can get it.
Right.
So you work with who you know can perform.
Exactly. No, and thanks for
Mhm.
bringing that up, because this is not only just for for buyers or even sellers. This is for agents too.
Yeah.
It's very, very
Mhm.
important that, just who you take. I mean, obviously, it's good to have a surplus of different people that you call on, because certain
Yeah.
people do, certain things, and, obviously, you do
Mhm.
have a good, you should have a Rolodex. Rolodex is so old. I'm just so I'm so dating myself.
Okay, I
But,
turned 40 this year. I'm right there with
oh
you.
my
Uh-huh.
God.
Uh-huh.
But y'all know my listening on is on here now. So a Rolodex
Yeah.
of other, lenders and, just your colleagues, your network, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is all important just based off of just even one of our last situations. So I had sent you, a client and, they, off of KFAX, shout out to the clients that reach out on
Yeah.
KFAX, and they just got in
Mm-hmm.
contract. Didn't think it was possible. It
Yeah.
absolutely was. And it was a great experience for them from start to finish. But, in the beginning, it takes a while sometimes to get pre-approved. And I'm not able to all the time, until I
Mm-hmm.
get those systems in place. And so for myself, it's important that at least my lender, my loan officer has some systems in place to continue to stay
Mm-hmm.
in touch with, my clients. And so these
Yeah.
particular ones, it took a little bit longer to get pre-approved. And once they were, okay, now that I kicked into overdrive. However, during that process, Audrey had found out that, hey, they might have went to another agent. And so again, having even your loan officer advocate, because honestly, could they go to any agent? They could.
Mm-hmm.
But, having Audrey in my corner and she knows like, hey, no, you need to go back to Tamika. That was important.
Yeah, I don't want them because, buyers will get swayed. I mean, they meet
Yeah,
agents all the time. So,
all the time.
but I know what they need to be successful. They need to stick.
Right,
I know Tamika can perform. So we want to keep those buyers with who's going to get them the house that they want. And,
right. Exactly.
and to kind of cover the pre-approval process, it's pretty quick. It takes us
Mm-hmm.
about 24 to 48 hours or on the spot if needed. So it's really
Mm-hmm.
just according to however long that borrower takes.
The long,
Sometimes,
exactly.
yeah, in between that time, they
Mm-hmm.
could meet 20 other agents. And you have
Mm-hmm.
to look at, okay, what agent has a great reputation? What agent has the experience? Not only
Mm-hmm.
experience in transaction wise, but in
Mm-hmm.
situations. Do they know how to
Right,
negotiate? Do they know how to deal with the current market stats? Right.
right.
So you might have a friend or family member that's a realtor that sold some houses, but that doesn't mean that they're skilled enough.
Mm-hmm.
So never, I mean, I obviously in this industry, Tamika and I both have helped all of our friends and family, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
because we're experienced. So if there's one bit of advice I can give to people, don't use a realtor just because they're a family friend. This
Right.
is the most important decision of your life. You have to use somebody that is going to be the best realtor and represent you the best. And if they happen to be a family friend, that's great, but just make
Mm-hmm.
sure that they're experienced.
Exactly. No, and
Mm-hmm.
thanks for saying that too, Audrey. And I wanted to have one caveat. Now, granted, when the experience takes a little bit longer, it depends on when the person uploading their information, having documents. But Audrey and her team are quick as heck. So let me make sure I make that very, very clear. Like I can get something literally not even less than 24 hours if I needed to. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
8 hours if I needed to. For instance, with another client of mine, it took
Mm-hmm.
forever for them before, but then I said, what, just go to Audrey, let's get it done. She knows what she's doing, especially dealing with a VA loan, right?
Yeah.
So, but it is important too, because in this particular one that we're talking about, and I always love to tell stories about how it happened. So this particular one, it's over in Oakley, and uh, there was one property that just kind of felt like, what, because it had an 11 in it, the number 11. I was like, this is a good one for you guys. Go see it on an open house because now we're open for open houses. They go and they see it and they liked it. However, there was another agent over there that was a family friend, family agent. And I'm like, oh no. And they told me, at least they told me that there was another agent in the mix and she had
Mhm.
opened up the door and all that stuff. And I said, okay, well, I mean, we were able to iron out those things with that other agent. But long story short, we were able to offer on that home that they saw. They loved it. Did some negotiation with the agent, and he didn't even know me. However, I tell you this much. I know that he had a conversation. If I knew that he kind of had a conversation with Audrey, I know that, okay, so now the chances are about seven, it was probably about 50-50, in the beginning
Mhm.
before other offers. Now I know it's went up to about 75%. Now, if I hear him call me back again, or there's something, okay, I know now it's 80 something percent that we're about to get, something going here, or my clients are about to get in. But that's
Mhm.
just so important because I know once he can speak to my lender, and everything I know that Audrey says and that she does, I know that my clients are just about to get this offer accepted unless something crazy comes up,
Yeah.
right? And in this particular one, again, they weren't the highest. They
Oh my
weren't the
gosh,
highest.
so good. I love finding out the details. They weren't.
They weren't the highest. They were actually had the lowest amount down. So they had
Mhm.
5% down, and there were 10% down, 15% down.
Yeah.
Other folks, and so my clients, kind of, we thought about it, called you up, Audrey, and said, okay, what does it look
Mhm.
like if we went to this number? Wasn't
Yeah.
even a big difference, maybe about $50. They say, you know what,
Yeah.
let's go for it. And if not, that's okay, we'll move on. Absolutely did, negotiated that. They got it for their number. And it wasn't
Yay.
even at the high, and
Mhm.
I see that, and I see those situations. And a letter did, people talk about letters being they're you're not supposed to have letters. That's completely false. Now, it
Mhm.
depends on, what's kind of mentioned inside the letter. And it also depends too on, the agent and the seller. If they don't want to see it, they just don't want to see it. But fair
Mhm.
housing laws, they do have a little bit more things now,
Yeah.
that you got to look out for. You just do. The letters really do need to look at the house itself and why the house is important to you. So the letter
Mhm.
was so important even in this one, at the end, because once they read the letter, they were like, yes, I absolutely want this family to have this house. And they did it after they decided. So that's a good thing. So they knew, who was going to
Yeah.
have their home and who was going to be in their community and their neighborhood. I mean, shoot, all my clients are like the best. I think so.
I agree.
All my clients are the
And
best.
this family is so cute. They
They
deserve this. I
are.
mean, talk
They
about,
are.
amazing, faith-filled,
They
beautiful people.
are.
It's,
They
yeah.
are. Absolutely. So, and
Mhm.
about to have a fourth baby coming soon.
I
So they
know.
know who they are. If they're listening to this, they know who you are. Complete
Mhm.
congratulations to you. And I'm so excited for you. But when we
Mhm.
come back, we're going to talk about, now the market. So there's some changes that have happened, some good things, some bad things, some different things. But we're going to talk to Audrey and get some Audrey's contact information so you can contact her if you have questions. But until then, stand by. This is Tamika Ellsworth, Faith in Home Buying and Equipping People. All right, well, so we're back again, and I have special guest Audrey Hutton of the Hutton Mortgage Team. Audrey, didn't do it in the first segment, but how can people get in contact with you?
So many ways. You can go to huttonmortgageteam.com. You can give us a call at 408-426-8755. And you can also check us out on Instagram, all the social medias, Hutton Mortgage Team or Audrey Hutton.
That's right. And
Yeah.
y'all already know Tamika Ellsworth. You can catch me there. Give you the number. I'll say it twice too, because just like you only say it once. We had to, So it's 408-561-7922. Again, that's 408-561-7922. Or you can catch me on TikTok, real estate underscore T. Matter of fact, speaking of which, Audrey, we need to go back on a live and start talking to some folks about, about some real estate and some loan stuff. That was absolutely fun.
Yes,
And then also
that
too, you can
was
find me
fun.
on Instagram. Everyone, it's just Tamika Ellsworth, and just Google my name. I'm there. So right now, let's talk about the market. The market has went through some ups and downs, some interesting things. But hey, interest rates still staying low. What are we looking
Mhm.
like, Audrey?
Until this week. No, I'm just kidding. So I would say overall an
Right.
update on on interest rates. They've gone up pretty much every day this week.
Yeah.
And the reason why is everybody was just anticipating the Fed meeting, and so
Mhm.
they announced, okay, inflation's really happening a lot faster than they
Okay.
thought, which all
Okay.
of those things directly impact rates. But overall, you guys are still low. I'm not allowed to
Yeah.
quote any rates, but they're low. They're looking good. If you want
Yeah.
more information, just reach out to us. Um, but yeah, the market is really taking a huge shift post COVID. Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Program wise, and also just monitoring the activity and the mindset of people coming out of COVID. And it's
Hmm.
really taking a huge shift and creating some abnormalities than we would typically see in, spring, summer market because of COVID.
Really? Yeah. See, that's the thing
Mhm.
that's going to be really interesting, because traditionally, right, you spring into summer kind of gets that high peak, and then it kind of,
Mhm.
plateaus in summer, and then September, October, especially for fall, winter, it's usually kind of
Mhm.
flatline a little bit. You can actually get some good deals during then.
Yeah.
However, does it look like it's going to be that same way this year? Because last year it didn't let up, and I swear I'm going to take all
Yeah.
of this winter off if it's back to kind of kind of chill. But is
Yeah.
that the forecast, at least in the financial realm?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I would say in the financial realm, we're still doing a lot of refinances because rates
Yeah,
are low. So
right.
that's one thing is that from the lending standpoint, it's still coming. You still have kind of record applications when you hit those little dips. You're getting
Hmm.
everybody that for whatever reason didn't refinance or their life situations are changing. Now
Yeah.
that COVID's over, there's a lot of people moving out of state or pulling equity out, remodeling their home because they
Hmm.
realize like, okay, COVID sucked. We need a bigger yard. We need another room. We need all this
Hmm.
stuff. So they're kind of
Hmm.
getting life situated.
Yeah.
So that's, one thing. So the forecast, there's a lot of things kind of playing into this that people just don't know yet.
Yeah.
Um, I would say specifically because of COVID, because people are able to, most companies are kind of giving that flexibility and people are
Hmm.
able to work wherever they want. And so
Right.
this is something we have literally never seen before. I
Right.
will tell you guys, 2 years ago, if you had somebody moving 6 hours away, you would have to get an exception. You really have to build your
That's right.
case to show underwriting that you can
Hmm.
keep your employment.
Hmm.
And that's completely out the window now.
Hmm.
Everybody is can move out of state if they need to and still keep their job. So this
Right.
has really had a huge impact on the lending industry. It's created a lot more flexibility for people to get approved.
Hmm.
Before underwriting would really scrutinize any other homes that you bought. We have a client right
That's
now, they
right.
bought in Santa Rosa during COVID, and
Hmm.
6 months later, they're buying in San Francisco, another owner occupied property because COVID's over. And so now they can go where they want. So there's a lot of things shifting and changing that can be done now that you really couldn't do before. So I would say that's what's wrong
Mm.
with it. Activity wise, as far as slowing down, I would say we'll have to wait and see because the big difference is that, over the years, you've had the first time home buyers that really drive the market because
Right.
anybody that's not a first time home buyer, they're just replacing themselves. They're selling a
Hmm.
house, they're buying a new one, but they have that home.
Hmm.
First time home buyers are what drive the market because they're taking a home off the market. And
Hmm.
there are so many first time home buyers because it's that age bracket of what was it, 32 to 38, I think is like the average
Yep.
first time home
Yep.
buyers.
Hmm.
There's so many people born in that age group that
Mm.
they're not building fast enough. So this
No,
is
they're
something
not.
where typically we see a little bit more inventory, it kind of corrects itself. Right now, we're not seeing any means to the end. It's going to keep going crazy because there are too many first time home buyers. So that's something that's really impacting this specific type of market. So we don't see it slowing down
Yeah.
anytime soon
Yeah.
unless the mind shift changes of these
Hmm.
buyers. Remember 3 years ago where
Yep.
it was
Yep.
low inventory and
Yep.
you'd have 45 offers on every
Yep.
property, and then all of a sudden it's like every buyer got together and said, no, we're not doing
Yep.
it, and then nobody competed anymore.
Yep. Yep. No, but you bring up a great point because I find, even now in my new construction, because remember now we're working with
Hmm.
one of my clients that we still are, we're still on the waiting
Yeah.
list for new construction. But
Hmm.
oh my goodness, all of my new construction, I have about 5 of them that are sitting there in contract.
Yeah.
All of them have been delayed to like October. Should have been
Hmm.
done in August, like
Yeah.
so, in July on some of them, and they've been delayed even more. And so
Whew.
I've been having those issues right now. And then if you're on the waiting list and you're not even, your house is not even being built, you're probably not going to see anything until next year,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And so
Yeah.
I have a lot of clients now that are taking a shift. Like, okay, fine, we're on the wait list, but you know what? This is what we can do. Let's look at the resale. Since we've already kind of sold our home, we're strong and we have strength. And let's see if
Hmm.
we can try to get a resale for less amount of money. That because remember the prices continue to go up for new construction as you're waiting on the waiting list. So the
Yeah.
prices are going up, and you're like, wait a minute, we're waiting. By the time that we get into it, these prices are going to be high. You know what? Let's try to look for a resale and try to kind of at least compromise on what we really want and what we can actually get. And so I
Yeah.
have a lot of them that are looking at that now that are on waiting lists. And hence, one of my clients right now, which fingers crossed, uh, that we're going to be getting in contract on another home for a VA loan.
Hmm.
But that being said, it's going to be fascinating how we recover from what happened last year to what's going to happen this year. Things
Yeah.
still going low. It's still being low. I mean, shoot, if anything's still under 4%, it's still low. I mean, shoot, anything at 4% is actually still low anyway, too. I mean, shoot,
Terrible.
I bought
Yeah.
my place. It was about 4.6 or something like that, interest rate. And that was actually really good at that
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was extremely good. And now
Yeah.
it's even better, at 2%, but still, point being is it's just
Oh,
going to be
what lender got you that
interesting.
rate? That's
Oh
amazing.
yeah, at Hutton Mortgage Team, yeah, they did cross country mortgage, yes, they did. But it's also it's just it's interesting on the real estate side too, because mentality and mind shifts, they as long as you're in it and you're watching what's going on, and you're watching, because there's some homes actually over in like in Santa Clara County areas, it's softened a little bit.
Hmm.
Often it's not as what you think. Maybe with the opening of open houses a little bit more, you get more people kind of coming out and having a little
Hmm.
bit more, it's almost like people coming up out of the bushes and out of their homes peeking out. Well, maybe we'll go
Yeah.
out and maybe we'll see some open houses, now that
Hmm.
things are kind of open. So we'll see, because I
Very
think
true.
that has
Yeah.
a lot to do with just how people in general shop for homes.
Hmm.
And it's really interesting too, because I have a lot of clients that have bought their home and never been to an open house ever.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
And then now, like in
Yeah.
between the time before, it was all appointment. Now I'm like, oh no, you're opened up. That's okay. If the home has an open house on Saturday, you can go. Really?
Yeah.
We can actually just go. Yes, you
Hmm.
can. That's back in the day. That's old school stuff. But
Yeah.
yes.
We're we're definitely dating ourselves in this
Oh my gosh.
episode.
Open houses, so
Hmm.
and I see that being a little bit of a change too, to see how the public is going to react.
Yeah.
We still have hot markets, in I think more in like Alameda County, East Bay, but still they're not getting as many homes. There's still
Hmm.
ridiculously high percentage from list to sell on price, which is
Yeah.
traditional in those areas. But still,
Hmm.
it's opening up a little bit more, I think, for my clients, for buyers, being
Hmm.
out there. And I'm hoping that those that have been on the fence, if you have, know your rates are not going to stay the same. So, either
Yeah.
A, you better lock yourself into something and stop being picky on the home that you're trying to get, because it's
Yeah.
going to bite you in the butt. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
you see that though, like people that are wait. And so
Oh yeah.
along that line, because we only have a little bit more time, but along that line, what would you tell someone that is just kind of, twiddling their thumbs or staying on the fence about what they
Yeah.
should do before this
Yeah.
market switches on them?
I tell everybody that unless you're an investor trying to flip homes and trying to make a fast profit, don't stress yourself out. Buy a home, live in your home. The longer that you wait, you're missing out on that mortgage interest deduction. The longer
Hmm.
that you wait, the higher the rates are going to go up. And that's impacting 30 years worth of interest deductions and payments and tax write offs. So, people, it really kind of cracks me up that people are willing to be so cautious over 10 or 20,000, like, oh no, I don't want to overpay. I don't want to compete in this market. But the longer they wait, they're missing out on probably hundreds of thousands of dollars because
Yeah.
of higher interest rates. And you don't know where the market's going to go. It's just going to keep going up. So if you do wait and then decide to jump in a year or two later, you're going to pay 50,000, 70,000 higher for the same house. The longer that you wait, it's costing you money. So the
Right.
difference is, to our investor clients that are trying to fix and flip, that's something where you want to turn a fast profit, and those things do impact. So if you're
Hmm.
not a fix and flipper, get in now. Get
Yeah.
into the home that you want, get an interest rate that's low before they keep creeping up, because they are higher than they were 5 weeks ago.
Right.
So
Well,
yeah, I
no,
would, yeah.
but no, you are absolutely right. And, thank you very much, Audrey, for coming on. And it's
Yeah,
always great having
it's
you.
my pleasure.
And
Yeah.
again, everyone, you can catch her. I mean, I know the Instagram one, the best, but Hutton Mortgage Team on IG. And what's that phone number again, Audrey?
Oh, thanks. It's 408-426-8755. That's 408-426-8755.
Right on.
They're
Well,
from the
thank
best.
you. Yeah, that's right. Well, thank
Hmm.
you, everyone. I do appreciate it. And again, if you'd like me to talk to you a little bit about having a little bit more faith in this home buying process, I'm always open. But I thank you very much for tuning in. And again, this is Tamika Ellsworth with Faith in Home Buying. And I'm just loving equipping people of faith for the home buying process. Thanks so much. God bless.